Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how's it going, Baron von Redwing? How are you? Merci for being here today. We're here for more Chrono Trigger. And excitedly, we are getting to what is my favorite part of the game here. The absolute, without a doubt, right here at the cusp of my favorite bit. This seems a bit tilty off, so let me tweak it very gently. This is an inches a mile type setup here. You really gotta. One of these days, I'm gonna invest in like one of those super amazing tripods that can just like, you can adjust it to within a hair. Was this we're gonna watch Home Improvement at 3x speed? Ooh, the sitcom? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's fly around on some pterodactyls for a little bit. I think that'd be cool because pterodactyls are awesome. I was always a bit disappointed once upon a time in my little old self that you could not do much more in prehistory. But yeah, there it is. Single play, welcome to the bit. I hope you're well. It is looking a bit bleached compared to yesterday. And Linguistic Dragon here as well, ladies and gentlemen. The editor-in-chief of thepixels.com. Currently under maintenance. Not Linguistic Dragon, but the website. It's currently very, very quiet. We're flying pterodactyls. I had to read that in the What's Opera doc voice because that is a top tier episode of Looney Tunes. Let me tell you. Okay, you know what? I'm going to drink the sweet water before we get going. Or did I do that already last time? No, I do need a bit of sweet water in my life. Probably could do it. Who couldn't, right? I mean, who among us let he who is without need of maintenance cast the first stone? Am I right? We could all use with a little bit of cybernetics, I'll say that. Okay, so last time we defeated the Black Tyranno. We went through Tyranno Lair. We defeated Azala. That's the end of the Reptite Kingdom. And just then, coincidentally, Lavos fell from the skies, a great red burning star, much like the Elendilmir in Middle-earth. For those of you looking for today's Middle-earth reference. Read What's Opera Doc, Rabbit of Seville, and Village Benedict's Opera has a grand time. Those are the top two for operatic episodes. I would add the third one is, oh shoot, and I've seen this one so many times, can't remember the name of it. It's the one where he consistently harasses somebody. That's like every Looney Tunes episode. He harasses the opera singer who doesn't like his music at the start of the episode. It's the one where they're like, Leopold, and he gets the guy at the end to hold the note for like forever. For like forever. Yeah, you know, I can't remember what that episode's called. But I think those three are the top three Looney Tunes opera episodes. Okay, so back to Chrono Trigger. There is a gate here. Now, previously, we were trying to discuss, like what is causing the gates to be or not to be, and what is sort of propelling the characters here on this adventure. And it's difficult to say. It's not impossible to say. Let me adjust a couple more things here, just to be on the safe side. Okay, that'll be as much as I can. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. So it seems to be because correlation equals causation, that Lavos is the entity that is bringing these gates about. But we don't know that for sure. Hey, how goes it, Cap Supreme? My sword slinging, fire slinging, red hat wearing gunslinger in all the West. I really can't do a Yosemite Sam voice. This is the one Looney Tunes voice that is the thorn in my side. We're using all kinds of biblical references and idioms today, I guess. I don't know. There's a gate. Look there. Lavos very fast, deep on the earth already. This gate was made by Lavos. Maybe Lavos is the source of all gates. Huh? There it is. What wrong, Chrono? Fight Lavos. Go in here. Yes. Now, for those of you not in the know, I'm attempting a Hawaiian pidgin English with Ayla. Doesn't always come quite out the right way that I want it to sound, but there it is nonetheless. Random theory, old man from the end of time is really Chrono, and he's the one opening the gates. So how would that work then, right? Because we know that the old man was from Zeal Kingdom, and then he got thrown into the past. So Chrono would have to be him in his youth at some point, and then he was sent to Zeal. Time is confusing. Boy, this is exciting. Where this, Chrono? We go and find out. Oh, stay all kind icy out here. Oh yeah, that thing's up there. That's a great song too. Really is. Really is a great song. One thing that I really do like about Chrono Trigger is that that layer of mystery. That there are things that are not explained in Chrono Trigger. I feel like one of the big downsides of a lot of modern storytelling is its tendency towards over-explanation. It sort of, it takes the mystique out of it. To quote Tolkien again, he said in a letter that he thought the reason why people were enraptured by Middle-earth is because it was like looking at a horizon with an island or a vista or some distant city that you couldn't quite make out. And, just leaving it there in the distance and hinting at something that you don't fully understand. But, if you go to that city, then there would need to be more and more vistas on those horizons as well. Otherwise, you lead towards something that is so over-explained, the mystique is gone. Speaking of, this right here. This moment, coming out into the sky from the snow, is, in my view, one of the greatest moments in video gamedom. When I first hit this exact moment, I put the controller on the floor and just sat and watched and listened. And was blown away. Completely. This is such a magical place. There's certainly a lot of mystery and mystique to this place. Love it. It's absolute beauty. If there is any theory of beauty that can be constructed, then this must be a part of that theory. I really got to finish that Super Mario World Zeal. Oh yes, absolutely. I would love to see that. A lot of fun is thinking about it yourself. Yes. Dark Souls is proof that it still works. Absolutely. There are very good examples, I think. One thing that I'm finding that's strange in AAA is they approach world building from this perspective of like, hey, you picked up an item. Now you get to read an in-universe Wikipedia article. And to me, that doesn't feel like world building. It feels like you're just giving people little articles to read, but making it feel as if it's alive, feel as if it's a historied world. That's a little trickier. I'm glad you mentioned Dark Souls. I'm playing through Bloodborne right now with my kid brother co-op. We're near the end of it. My first time getting that far into Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne is one that absolutely preserves a lot of that air of mystery that I'm discussing. Quite a lot of room to contemplate. On the other extreme, there may be areas in which it's too mysterious, too cryptic perhaps, but who could say for sure? This is the eternal kingdom of Zeal, where dreams can come true, but at what price? They were too occupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should. What strange visitors! Welcome to Zeal. Is this part of a dream? Queen Zeal rules our magical kingdom. She is without peer in beauty and greatness. The queen has given us everything. After the king died, she nurtured magic, which has advanced the kingdom. Even while sleeping, world building. Welcome to Anhasa, in the magical kingdom of Zeal. We find truth in the bliss of sleep. Dear me, and who might you be? The queen has sealed the elemental weapons in the North Palace. You can see its entrance on the northern continent, but no one is allowed there. That's in reference... Oh, and they show you. That's in reference to the Blue Pyramid. Now, cannot be reached without modding on this world map, but there may be other ways to reach it. Narrative, negative, space. I love that terminology. Value in the things you don't tell as much as you do. They often say, right, show, don't tell. But also, equally important, what you neither show nor tell. The insight stat really opens up the lore in Bloodborne. It really does. I was reading a lore kind of unpacked article, lore explained, and there's a lot of those, certainly. And it was less interesting because, you know, it's all there. Switch from Hassan to be here. Well, I feel ultimately flattered. Thanks very much, Dwarven Barista, for being here. You're here at just the right time. We are at the Kingdom of Zeal. The door to the North Palace is sealed with a mysterious energy. Even we, the enlightened ones, cannot open it. Welcome. What can I do for you? Well, I got 35 of those. I'm good. I'm good, actually. I think I'm good. Oh, shelters. I'll take more shelters. We'll just keep it there. What's wrong with him? What a weird kid. What wrong? That animal good food? Don't eat the cat. The black wind howls. One among you will shortly perish. What? And out of the blue like that? Chrono, this is kind of creepy. Strange one, but not bad, boy. Ayla feels very out of place here, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and switch it up. We'll do the princess and the frog for a little bit. Actually, we need Luca and the frog because we got to balance out levels. That's what we're doing. Is that cat the ancestor of Chrono's cat? Yes, because it possesses the pendant. Switch from chasing squirrels in the backyard with a stick to be here. I also feel flattered that you would value this over chasing squirrels with a stick. That is pretty good. This is a spring of recovery. Heal your mind and body here. The Queen's Palace is at the center of Zeal. From there, she protects the entire world. That's why we can sleep for days away. I wonder what's inside the North Palace. I bet there's a key to it in the palace, but entry is strictly forbidden. Now, has anybody ever thought of Zeal as like Alexandria, Rome, like the Roman Empire? This whole big colossal loss. The city of Qajar, where they study magic, lies on the edge of the western continent. The airship Blackbird is kept there. Pyozado, do you believe in fate? Which means our lives are all predetermined. See, yesterday I mentioned that Chrono Trigger does kind of play around a little bit with the notion of predetermination or determinism. But it also has this level of divinity in it as well. But you're still hungry? I wish they would specify that more often. Even when you ate the old man's the old man's chicken in the Millennial Fair, you're still hungry because Chrono is just a slob. He could just steal people's foods all day long. Well, yes, of course, no such thing as fate. I don't have time for this. Oh, that's it? I don't get another shot at it? Truth exists in dreams, herbal tea, crystals. Am I a butterfly dreaming I'm a man? Or a bowling ball dreaming I'm a plate of sashimi? Never assume that what you see and feel is real. This is very also evocative after listening to an audiobook all morning on the history of Pink Floyd and certainly all of the hallucinogenics that they dealt in. This is very Pink Floyd-ish. I'm Doreen. Seek the hidden path and open the doors of knowledge, each in turn. So Doreen, we'd previously established as Masa and Mune's sister. And that explains why she resembles the others. Now, there's a secret passage in here that we had to figure out. Can't remember how it goes. We've got wind. I usually always have to backtrack because I forget. We've got wind, water, and fire. And I think that's it. So there's an order in which you have to open the books? Or is there... No. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I think it is wind, then water, then fire. No. Everything is predetermined, yet there are multiple endings. It is curious, right? The game refuses to be clear. Okay. Maybe no, because that's what I did was fire, wind, water. Does anybody remember this? Otherwise, we'll have to backtrack. I think we're going to go wind, fire, water. It's going to be one of these. Fire must be last. Maybe it's water, wind, fire. Because the door is right behind one of those cupboards. So let's try water, wind, fire. There it was. Okay, I would like to save first because there may be some boogies in there. Gotta be careful about that. The Magic Kingdom, there it is. No help with all this element talk, just earth, wind, fire song stuck in my head. But do you remember? Not much is in the highway. Okay, let's see what's in here. Hey, go in. The Mystery of Life, Volume 841, Chapter 26. All life begins with new and ends with new. This is the truth. This is my belief, at least for now. We were contemplating previous if news in this game are a reference to the Greek letter mu or the sunken continent mu or the shaman, what am I thinking of? Not a philosophy. Anyway, the thing. Got to backtrack when I replaced it. I don't remember what behind the door. Be happening. So it's still in your head. Several letters after new. Oh, it's all life though. Yeah, this one's tough, I think. The Guru of Reason is gone. Challenge me. Okay, here we go. This one I've seen destroy a couple players. You got to be careful on this one. This is not the same as just fighting one new. I think these ones can actually kill you. Okay. It's a boogers group to take to this battle, but we'll do what we can. Oh, we got Leap Slash. That's a good one. Okay, kill him. No? Still? Okay. Ah, man. That's a lot of health. Yeah, the rough thing is they cut your health down and then they can kill you after that. I'm almost positive. Oh, let me just get that sweet old lightning. Yeah, was that one health? Is she still around? Why can't? How come the top one doesn't work for? Oof. There it is. Yeah, they can. Okay. All right. I thought I remembered that. One more. Give me one more lightning. I don't remember what the reward for this is either. But it's a pretty tough fight. No! Don't do it. Okay. One more. There you go. Yeah, they've got 1,234 HP each. That's a lot of tech points, though. You're strong. Take this. A magic tab, a speed tab. No. And that's it. That's a tough fight for just a magic tab and a speed tab. But you do get to learn a little bit more about the nature of the news. Okay, once again, I always give these tabs to Chrono. Because he's typically around the most. Typically. No spoilers. I remember feeling so disappointed that I had to go back down to Earth. I wanted to be in that floating landmass so much. And then being delighted to discover that you just go back there immediately because here's another teleporter. They're called new and yet so old. It is curious. Hidden behind a custom puzzle that requires backtracking. Yeah, that was a lame reward. It's like a permanent stat gain is nice. But for that, especially with how tough that battle can be if you're caught unawares, it would have been nice if there was something else. I think you should make it your bit for the day. Breaking news. You should. Dwarven Barista decides to make it his bit. The Blackbird. As mentioned, there are quite a few airships in this Final Fantasy, and this is one of them. Who are you guys? Everything okay with the Blackbird? Oh, this is Dalton. Everything's okay, Sir Dalton. Of course it is, you idiot. Hey you, what are you doing there? Aha, it was true then. You're the ones the prophet said would come and cause trouble. Let's see how you handle this little situation. I didn't think they'd make it so easy on me. Ha! Oh, he didn't do anything to us, actually. Never thought something so big could fly, huh? Stupid Dalton. Nobody's favorite character. Call it a bit, yet no one's laughing. Well, I can't verify if anybody in chat land is laughing or not. I can't. I had a little knee slap. You should have unlocked new as a playable character, Fred. As a playable character. That would have been quite a bit. Quite a bit. This ain't no Chrono Cross, let me tell you that. I remember playing Chrono Cross for the first time and just being like by the time you catch on that like almost everybody joins your party, you're like, all right. So some dude that like, you know, has nothing to do with anything just joined my party. It wears off at a certain point. Angry shout, Dalton! And he shook his fist at Dalton as a new character. Oh, I got it. See, I like this bit. This is the magical city of Kajar. We do experiments for the queen. Your power differs from ours. In you I sense a strange aura of kindness. Look, look. There's the logo right there. Right there. Also used in the future in the proto-domes. And presumably scattered throughout in various other places. But, yeah, that's the Mammon Machine. For the longest time, I thought it was Queen Zeal standing with her hands on her hips, but it's definitely the Mammon Machine. This is, oh yeah, we know what that is. combined the ancient rainbow shell and the sunstone to create incredible weapons and items. But now, only the Guru of Life has the skill. Elemental power usage is forbidden. Ah, plants are so content. I wish I could be too. Okay, that was wind. So what was it? Water, wind, fire. That's what it was. After Suikoden, I was no longer surprised by the number of characters. I think there should be a hard limit. I mean, not enforced, but like there's a hard limit to the point to where I stop being impressed by the number of characters. Like, I'm no longer impressed at how many Pokemon there are because it's just ridiculous. That's the Sun Keep you see on the southern continent. A sunstone, once the source of this world's power, was kept there. But when we began using our new energy source, it was sealed up just like the North Palace. They claim we don't need the energy of this tired old planet. Okay, also important for later on, and another area that you can't get to. No. Oh, he sells stuff. I've got load shields, but I cannot sell them unless the queen says it's okay. Is there a way to get around to buying load shields from this broski? That's the last one. We need to find the water first. His only friend, other than his sister, is that stupid cat. What tempest rages in his head? We've been seeing a lot of Janus lately. He appears upset and paces around. I believe it's pronounced Hanus. Queen Zeal has two heirs, Scala and Janus. So, yesterday also we were discussing if Marley is descended from Scala, how? Because we're not told that Scala has any descendants. We're not shown that either Scala or Janus have any descendants. We know generally what happens to both of them. Scala a little more mysterious. But this also tells us explicitly here that the queen has no other two heirs. Now, maybe there's like a Numenorian like cousin descended from, you know, a common ancestor type thing going on here. I don't know. But direct descendant from Scala, it's not looking too positive. A dozen is a massive amount. I would agree. 108 is pretty silly. How many is it in Chrono Cross? I would guess in the 60s, if I had to. Maybe somewhere between 40 and 60. I think FF, that's so hard to read. 6? The best job of having a large cast without leaving anybody out, both narratively due to the World of Ruin and gameplay-wise due to the 3-party final dungeon. Gameplay-wise, for sure. I think there are several people in 6, to push back a little bit, several people in 6 that have no bearing on the narrative. Almost at all. Definitely the two secrets, Umaro and Gogo. I also think Mog, like if Mog was not in Final Fantasy VI as a playable character, I mean, the game would be virtually identical. I also think that every time I think about the cast of 6, I think, did that game really need like 5 blue mages? I don't know. I feel like Strago and Realm could have been one character. But obviously, it's not right, I think, to think in utilitarian terms of like reducing numbers of characters. It is the story that they decided to tell. Yeah, and clearly they're bonus characters. I don't know if I would count Mog as a bonus character. Is he a secret, like, missable character or not? I can't recall. Umaro and Gogo, I'm firmly, like, those are secret characters. But the core cast of 6 is, I think, about 7 characters. I think that core cast is really well done. Once you start kind of getting further away, like Gao doesn't really matter that much. He really doesn't. He's sort of there as comedic relief, I think. But it's not like he has any real bearing on the politics of that world or anything like that. Talking it up as an undefined plot point. Why make Ayla and Marley connected with the redstone, but the royal person with it is just coincidence? Yeah, it could have... I don't know. It's hard to say. It is hard to say. And that goes back to earlier what we were talking about with undefined vistas on the horizon. James, how's it going? But didn't you see the commercial with Mog in an office? Oh, Mog is missable. So there's 3 definite. Oh, wait. Not missable as in you can never get in a state where he's impossible to get, but he's secret. Wait. So you can never get in a state where he's impossible to get. Is it possible to finish the game without Mog? I guess is the question. Mog is mandatory. He saves people and is the tutorial for the multi-party members. Okay, so he's mandatory. Yeah, see, I don't know. I think if we're talking non-missable characters, I think Gao and Mog are almost entirely pointless narratively. But I really do think, to agree with you, I think the core 7... or so of 6 are really, really strong characters. Especially when a big theme of the game is there's no such thing as coincidences. Yeah, I mean, I think it's questioning if there's coincidences. I don't know if they solve that question of whether there is any such thing as coincidences. Okay, so we got one guy saying Mog is mandatory. And then, okay, Baron retracted. So it is possible to finish the game without ever getting Mog. Okay. Let's get out of here. We won't stand for this Gao hate. Wow, I'm Gao. His best quote right there. Just kidding. Okay. Scala's an incredible child who has extraordinary magical powers. Being so gifted, she'll breeze through life. The other problematic thing is Scala and Janus are children. So whence cameth their descendants? Don't know. Especially here since we're on the cusp of severe cataclysmic events. How did we come by our skills? And why do others lack them? Who cares? My, you've got an unusual aura, so you too must possess the skill. It must be very primitive compared to ours, you poor things. Snobs. Those lacking magic have always lived beneath the clouds, as the earthbound ones. After all, they lack what we have. My headcanon, by the way, is that the earthbound ones are literally from Earthbound, the video game. But this is Chrono Trigger. Okay, there's the water. We need the wind. Right here. And then we're going to get the fire. Boom. This one, as I recall, does not have a fight in it. You found something strange. But a black rock is inside. Now that is a hefty reward right there. Because that allows you to use a triple tech, which you could not use otherwise. I mean, I guess you're technically correct that you have to play as Mog at a couple points, but he's never a party member at that point. Oh, he's like a guest, right? Like Biggs and Wedge. He's no more a party member than any of the Moogles. This isn't Earthbound. We need Ness. He's down at the bottom, doing he's in the snow doing Earthbound stuff. It all began aeons ago when man's ancestors picked up a shard of strange red rock. Its power, which was beyond human comprehension, cultivated dreams. In turn, love and hate were born. Only time will see how it all ends. Now, Dreamstone is also a curious piece of this game. A bit mysterious. Is it a natural material that existed before Lavos? Did it fall to the earth ahead of Lavos? Was it energized with magic at the coming of Lavos? Can't fully recall. The Ocean Palace lies deep beneath the waves. It's a symbol of the Queen's power. The palace is the source of light which sustains all things. Queen Zeal the Great. Yeah, sure. The Earthbound ones are being allowed to work on the construction of the palace, so they do have their purpose after all. Indeed, what great aeroplane, or that great aeroplane, Blackbird, which Balthazar built. When it soars in the sky, it looks alive. Balthazar is truly a genius. The construction of the Ocean Palace is behind schedule. Eternal palace beneath the waves. It'll be a sight to see when it's done. The gurus of life, time, and reason live in Zeal. Their skill and knowledge is supreme. Zeal's advancements stem from a new energy source. Its power surpasses that of the elements. I heard a strange prophet has come to the palace. I don't know the details, but I heard he has uncanny powers. No. Talking to you, no. Can you not talk to this, no? Oops, that's a defective item. Too bad, huh? I'm working on a tab that will boost magical skill, but my precious products have been disappearing lately. Must be the naughty new that hid them. They love pranks. What can I do? You could berate the new. I heard Scala's powers far exceed those of her mother. Then there's her stepbrother, Janus. He's of royal blood, but he doesn't seem to have a speck of magic. Okay, so let's see. Technically, post World of Ruin, you need to get Celeste, Sabin, Edgar, and Seltzer. And then you can technically beat the game at that point, but with single character parties, it's hard. If anybody ever asks who the main character of 6 are, it's canonically those 4. Yeah, I think there's different main characters depending on which of the 2 worlds you're in. I think there's a strong argument that Terra is the main character for World of Balance, and then Celeste is the main character for World of Ruin. What I don't buy about 6 is any narrative that says they're all main characters. Like, any one of the characters is the main character of 6. No. I can't get behind that. Do you honestly think that Umaro is the main character of Final Fantasy VI? Do you honestly think that Gogo is the main character? I get ensemble, but I don't think an ensemble means that there's no main character. Right? Like Lord of the Rings is an ensemble. But there's clearly main characters. Especially as the books split into different journeys. Even if we take the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, do you really think that Hawkeye is the main character of the Avengers? I don't think so. I don't think that you could make any argument that Realm is the main character of the thing. Yeah, I don't buy it. I could see at most 2 protagonists. Like I said, I think Terra is the protagonist of World of Balance, and Celeste is the protagonist of World of Ruin. But Locke is clearly a deuteragonist. Like, definitely. Edgar and Sabin are absolutely deuteragonists. There's no way they're protagonists. Definitely aren't. Yeah, I would consider them main characters. Now I'm starting to go to protagonist, deuteragonist, because I think that's clearer language. See, I wouldn't even say that Cyan is a protagonist. I think Terra, Celeste are the 2 protagonists, and most everybody else is a deuteragonist. Some of them might be tritagonists, but by the time you get to Realm, Mog, Gao, Umaro, and Gogo, for sure, you're looking at like decatagonists or something like that. I don't know what a doo-doo dragon thing. Well, I mean, we could use big boy talk. You're old enough to use big words. I believe you. You could look these words up. I mean, they're real words, you know. Rise to the occasion, Siku play. You could do it. First time I've heard this word. Could, but I'm lazy. Well, that's how you wind up stupid. No, just kidding. Well, they are real words built around narratives and stuff like that. This is my passion. I've studied storytelling for a long time. That doesn't mean I'm correct. People will use that, like they'll do an appeal. They'll do like an appeal to authority, but for themselves. They'll be like, trust me, I've studied this all my life, so therefore I'm the authority. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I'm interested in these terms because they interest me as a whole. There's a point in the game in which the party splits and you have multiple POVs. That's true. I think that if you're going to consider those as separate narratives, then we could look at that. But if you're going to look at the narrative as a whole, yeah, then it's like, again, to put it in Lord of the Rings, I think Merry and Pippin are obviously not protagonists. They're clearly deuteragonists. And they, even though they go off and have their own minor adventure with the Ents, they're not involved in the biggest overarching elements of the plot in the Lord of the Rings. Frodo, definitely there. You could argue Frodo, Gandalf. Well, no, not even that. Frodo, Aragorn. You know, the two biggest, right? But they help defeat Sauron. They do. They help defeat Sauron. It's true. All of the characters in Final Fantasy VI help defeat Kefka. Does that make Gogo the main character? No. That's ridiculous. Gogo is the main character of FF6. Sounds like the perfect bad take to build my personality around. You should have a meme account on social medias. That's the main character is the chocobo that you rent from Figaro. Hey Figaro. So that was the main character because meme that we won't let die for some reason stares hard at Cinco Play's purple name in chat. Kefka doesn't help defeat Kefka. Maybe he's the main character. Wonderful. He's certainly the main antagonist. Yeah. I would also say that he is a personal antagonist for Celeste, which makes sense then that you fight him in the at the end of the World of Ruin. But you know, if you guys don't want to engage with serious narrative storytelling analysis, then let me know in advance, and we could just talk about up, down, X, Y, press, start, select, button, Konami code. Water summons wind. Wind makes fire dance. There it is. That's the secret. A guru once told me that the sunstone could store the almost infinite energy of our sun. But if its energy were used up, it would lose its glow and change into a moonstone. Well. Did you know a moonstone can be recharged if you leave it in the sun? But it takes aeons. So it's unlikely for us to ever see that gorgeous glow again. Should just left it in the sun, nerds. There's a way to make this new move. There is. Does anybody remember that at all, or am I misremembering? I'm like almost positive that you can make it move. I'm sure you have no issues saying I'm wrong. I'm obviously there's a lot here that's tongue in cheek as well. Dwarven barista. But yeah, no, I don't think that stands. If you're going to say that Mog is the main character of Final Fantasy VI, I just will have to think that you don't know what you're talking about. That's all. And that's fine. Anybody can talk about whatever they want to. Most of the characters' stories end during the game. Celeste, Cyan, and Cayenne Pepper and Terra, I think, are the only three that have a story arc that ends with beating the game. What about Locke? If I let the meme die, what would I have to post about on Blue Sky? Your amazing insights on game design, your history as a game developer, the projects that you continue to work on, your amazing philosophies about how games influence people on a technical and an emotional level. You have so much to offer, Cinco Play. You really do. So much. Nobody's saying that Mog is... No, if you say everybody's the main character, then you are saying that Mog is the main character. Absolutely. Because he's part of everybody. The New is the main character. I hear there's a Mew underneath the New if you get him to move. Well done. Gotta find the secret New pressure point. Oh, thank you. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that bit. Okay, but Mog is on the front cover, at least in the US. It's true. It's true. That also means that Purple Shadow is a main character, right? Locke's story comes to a close when he finds Phoenix Magicite. He comes to terms with his inner turmoil and trauma and then just helps the party because they are friends. That's interesting. How many moments... Well, no, I don't want to ask that. I think that's an awkward question. Explain to me, because I'm curious to know your thoughts. This is not an attacking... Explain to me! No, explain to me how Cyan's arc closes with the end of the game. Okay, Cinco Play, since you're wanting to engage this with technicalities, this is the exact phrasing that Dwarven Barista actually used. So the main characters is the entire cast. So, and that is specifically what I'm addressing. After that, he said ensemble, but and again, and this is not just Dwarven Barista's comment too. This is something I've encountered with FF6 many times. That every single member of the cast is a main character, and I don't see it. Dwarven Barista, you might make a good mithril macchiato, but I cannot with this. So again, single play. That's what it's specifically what I'm responding to. Okay, some are main characters, some are supporting cast. That's my point exactly. I really think Terra for World of Balance, Celeste for World of Ruin, and most of the rest of the cast are deuteragonists. Some may be romantic interests. And then some are absolutely tritagonists. Cyan has a revenge arc because Kefka poisoned the castle and killed his family. Is that deliberately, like, specifically resolved? Or is there any element in which anybody else has, like, a revenge motivation against Kefka? Or is Cyan the only one that has a revenge motivation against Kefka? The main character is the menu cursor. That's like Sakaguchi level of like any Final Fantasy is any game with a blue menu. I'm not gonna let game mechanics get in the way of storytelling. You tell them, you macchiato making. I think everybody wants revenge. Yeah, there's an element of that. Okay, we gotta tickle that new, but we gotta find the pressure points first. So, I believe I spoke with everybody here. I've been in there. Yeah. No. We already did it. Don't show me what it looks like. He's going to show me what it looks like. He is. So, I think Terra's motivation is different than revenge. I think Terra's motivation is finding hope in hopelessness and the children that she comes to be Mama Terra for. I don't know if it's explicitly revenge, although it could certainly be part of it. But that's what snaps her out of her malaise in it. Okay, it must be up ahead then. I'm just misremembering. I mean, when people say the original FF7 wasn't turn-based, okay. I am absolutely on the bandwagon that ATB is a subgenre of turn-based. It clearly is. You're having to wait for a turn. That bit though. I mean, like, what I'm addressing is like, hey, deuteragonists exist. Like, that's been around since the Greeks. What you're saying here with people suggesting that original FF7 wasn't turn-based is absolutely a post Final Fantasy 16 statement, like in defense of FF16. Just like that did not exist before then. Funnily enough, the main character of Knights in the Nightmare literally is the menu cursor. I love that you're gonna keep figuring out how to bring up this game that nobody in here has played, because you're awesome, Hole Mole, and I know that you like that game, Knights of the Nightmare. I should check out eventually. See, this is why we're best friends. It's true. Oh boy, months ago, I had a lively conversation that ATB isn't turn-based. It was tiring. It is, right? Because now they want to be like, what even is a turn? Can you define what the word turn is? Like, it's that same, can you say what the word is? Come on. One guy was trying to tell me that a turn in an action game is how fast you can push the button. And I was like, stop it. That's ridiculous. Okay, like if you think tag you're it and chess are equally turn-based, I don't want to tell you about. Like, everybody just runs from the one person. You don't take turns taking a step. That would be a strategy, tag you're it. Kefka didn't really affect anyone other than Terra, Celeste, and Cyan. That's a hard sentence, I think. He certainly affected everybody on the planet, but I think you probably mean on like a personal level, right? If ATB isn't turn-based, then chess with timers isn't turn-based. I used that before too. And the anarchists out there will be like, well, then nothing is turn-based. Mario's turn-based. Each turn lasts 1 frame. Oh, my goodness. I'm glad. See, single play, I'm glad when you give parentheticals to let us know when you are trolling, right? This definition of Twitch-style gaming, how fast you can push the button. That's not a turn. No, I wholeheartedly agree. Let's see. I suppose the World of Ruin has a different motivation. The World of Balance is where the story arcs come from, where they originate, right? Would Edgar have any Kefka-centric motivation? Because certainly he's one of those that has the first political contact with Kefka. I don't know. I'm just kind of teasing this out because I don't fully understand the perspective here, but it is intriguing to me. And that's why I'm not arguing with it. Just don't be ignorant of context. Fighting game players actually refer to turns pretty often, but there's a different meaning there. Well, I mean, context being, right, if you're talking about a fighting game, but we're talking about RPGs. So acknowledging that other contexts exist, implicitly acknowledging them, I think is fine. Because it's like, we're not going to acknowledge that, like, the context of turns exist in birds, TERNS, because we don't have to, because we're not talking about birds, we're talking about RPGs. Like, one guy is like a fighting game turn-based because one guy attack. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. If you have to use fighting games to define RPGs, you've already cross-contexted yourself. Turbo, how's it going? How the heck are you? We're talking about all kinds of awesome stuff right now. Kefka showed up to threaten Edgar at the start of the game. That's right. Edgar is a politician in his country being consistently undermined by the Empire. Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of getting at here with that. Does Edgar have a personal and political motivation to defeat Kefka beginning at the start of the game? But Kefka himself shows up, right, on behalf of the Empire. Yeah, I don't think Sabin and Kefka have much of a relationship. Kefka personally sets Edgar's castle on fire, too, right? If I'm remembering right, so that's a pretty personal jab. Let's see. Yeah, Kefka does not become a main antagonist until much later. I remember my brother, a kid brother, who was not alive during the time that these games came out, being surprised that Kefka wound up being the main antagonist, which I think is part of why 6 is so clever. They didn't pull a Necron on you. Let's see. Everyone has their reasons why they joined forces. Yeah, no, definitely. For sure. Okay, we're here at Zeal Palace now. This is the Queen's Palace, the center of Zeal Kingdom, which makes this the center of the universe. So they didn't have a heliocentric... This is like a pre-Galilean a society of magic snobs. Use the Queen's Hall to get to the Ocean Palace, which is under construction. The source of our energy lies deep below the sea. Now that its exact location has been found, the Ocean Palace will be built. The Wandering Prophet is amazing. All his prophecies have come true. It's as if he knows the future. How eerie. Even Balthazar is gone after designing the Blackbird in the Ocean Palace. How strange that the 3 gurus who guide Zeal have all disappeared. I don't want to go up there yet. They say that Gaspar, the Guru of Time, continues his work on some deserted island. He's making a Chrono Trigger or Time Egg or something, but no one has seen him for ages. What purpose did he have for building the Chrono Trigger? Could you scratch my back? Thanks. Oh, yeah. Whew. Thank you. You discovered the news scratch point. Okay, now let's go back. We got to backtrack because we got the news scratch point. Everybody's fired up about the topic. This is what I love to see. Let's talk about these things. Let's do it. Okay, let me see here. I've never met anybody, I've never been a gamer who doesn't have strong feelings on Final Fantasy. It is the strong feelings franchise, for sure. One way or the other. Let's see. Turbo, I would agree with that. The Empire is the bad guy during the World of Balance, and then Kefka does his thing for World of Ruin. Thoughts on our fighting games, RPGs? RPGs might have tier lists, but they don't have footsies. Ooh. Let's see. That's part of your argument that I agree with until you put minor characters like Manga or Realm in that list. Whoever the main character is, Gogo can mimic them. Therefore, Gogo is the main character, obviously. Well done. Well done. The main character has 2 arms and 2 legs. Umaro does. Therefore, he's the main character. Any cast members that didn't have any real contact with him get personally affected real quick. Oh, for sure. I think we share nearly the same opinion, Red. No, I think so. With the exception that I also think Cyan deserves a credit due to his direct interaction with Kefka before the World of Ruin. Right, and what I'm suggesting is that if we're following that, then Edgar deserves a credit due to his direct interaction with Kefka before the World of Ruin as well. Because again, dude torched his house. That's pretty messed up. And personal as well. Whereas Kefka is certainly impersonal for a lot of the others, like Sabin. Mog was the flagship character of FF6. That's why he's on the cover. Oh, yeah. Chocobos are a mascot of Final Fantasy. Therefore, they're main characters. Right? It's funny that people don't arguments about Dragon Quest. I've never heard anybody argue about Dragon Quest. I have heard somebody argue about Final Fantasy every day of my life. It's true. Do the mascot suit might represent a baseball team, but he's not the focus of the actual game. Right. The Houston Astros, the alien guy is the main player on the team. Makes all arguments for 5 to 6 characters. Yeah. I would think so. I think if you pushed me, I would say Terra and Celeste for the 2 protagonists, and then I think 5 to 6 is a reasonable guess for the big ensemble, including the Deuteragonists, and then everybody else is like a minor character. Very much, man is a featherless biped. You can't really deny Street Fighter 6 World. No, yeah, there are some RPGs that include... there are some fighting games that include RPG elements. That's true. But definitely not all of them. Fire was easily put out, though. It was a minor inconvenience? No, I don't know about that, though. That doesn't... it's still a personal attack. Whether they put out a fire on the entire castle or not. Yeah. Because now we're talking in degrees. I don't buy that. I don't. Okay, let's see. They aren't on the cover of FF6. The North American version, right? Which is... Now we have to get into Japanophile definition. Hey, what's up, Tempe? You're welcome to argue about Dragon Quest with yourself. Let's see. You said anything? Oh, no, you should say all the things. World Tour has Breath of Fire references. Yeah, I saw the Boff reference in World Tour. That's pretty cool. Who's there at Narcissistor? Yeah, misremember, but he just sinks the castle to put it out, doesn't he? I think he ultimately does. I don't know if just might... The word just there might be misleading. We all agree that Vaughn is the MC of 12. I think... Okay, this will get technical. I think that... I think that Vaughn is definitely the point of view character, but I think that the plots of 12 have little to do with Vaughn. It seems to me that there are kind of 3 parallel plots that go on with Balthier, Ash, and Bosch. But Vaughn is almost irrelevant that whole game. But he's a great POV character, though. He really is. They had to smother the fire by sinking it on the desert. Do you know how much power it takes to move a castle? Right? Like, we're talking about convenience in like a fantasy mechanic. There's no way to suss that out. We need more RPGs with minor fighting game elements. Yes, we should. All of a sudden, POVs don't matter anymore? No, I wouldn't say that. But I think let's imagine this, okay? Could you tell a story in which you have a POV character who is not the character for whom the story matters most? That would be the protagonist, right? You might be able to make that argument with Great Gatsby. But I think in 12, you have a case in which they've told a story where you have a POV character who is not the protagonist. or not the main character, if you want to use that kind of looser term. Ash is the main character without question. Yeah, I agree. You sit on a throne of lies. The narration of 12 begins with Ash, right? Not with Vaughn. Vaughn is a witness of the story, but he is far from the most important character or one that drives the story forward or has any real bearing on the story throughout most of that game. Yeah. Player's perspective. POV character. Story about Ash and Bosch. Vaughn is POV throughout. There we go. It's not irrelevant. He's Captain Bosch von Rotzenburg of Talmaski. Let's start with a third party narrates The Princess Bride, Titanic. Yeah, Princess Bride is a good example, right? Because you've got people literally reading the story, but they're not. Like Fred Savage listening to the story is not the main character. Von Bombadil, now we're getting... This is sacrilege, you guys. Okay. I was not expecting all this discussion, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. I love there are people that share different opinions. I love that nobody's being attacked. This is honestly how society should always work. Nobody's had, been called nasty names. Nobody's being ostracized. Nobody's being canceled. Y'all are just sharing opinions on a story. There's a very different story though once you get on Twitter. Those people are, it gets brutal out there. I'm gonna tickle you. Scratch, scratch. Ooh. Scratch, scratch. Ooh. Scratch, scratch. Oh yeah, magic tab. So you potentially backtrack twice to get magic tabs on this. I'm gonna tickle you again. Or scratch you. I'd think of it as tickling. I do. I would like to tickle a new. Look at how cute he is. It's so cute. Okay. Are there any other missables here? Oops. Any other missables here that I ought to know about? We got the 6 new fight at the start. We got the Black Rock. That's missable. We got the magic tabs and the speed tab. I don't think there's anything else that's missable. Let's see here. You got me on that one. Been 30 years since I saw it. Titanic really doesn't count because Rose is the narrator. Oh yeah, that's true, huh? Yeah. Fred Savage, I believe it's pronounced. Did you get the hidden tab in the bookcase? Oh, which bookcase? Is it this one? Is it over here? I did not get one in the bookcase. Is it in Qajar? Or is it in Hassa? Or do you mean through the bookcase entrance? Do you mean this right here, Captain? Enough with the Utopia talk. Wouldn't it be nice if we all just accepted that other people exist? Fred Savage is the main character of Final Fantasy VI. Well done. Okay, the question then becomes, who gets what tabs? For me, I always give them to Chrono because he's around most of the game. So it's a utilitarian thing. So Red, I didn't get a Twitch notification for your stream. You have nothing to do with that, I bet. Twitch will decide to work when it does, and then it just doesn't. I don't understand. I really don't. I really do not. I was doing really well on Twitch, and then I took a break because my wife got laid off. And we were doing all kinds of stuff to try and fix that. And then I come back and Twitch just decides to not work well. I don't get it. The one in the wall. Okay, yeah. I did get the one in the wall here and in Hassa. So we got that. So we're good. We're good on that. Let's see. Sherlock Holmes is another example. Watson is POV, Holmes is MC. Oh, that's a good example right there. Yeah. Let me think here. There's a Ghibli film I just saw recently. My kids were watching. And I can't remember which one it is. I thought it had some bearing on this, but I don't think it does. I think there are other stories that use the POV as an observer without an obvious other main character. Maybe Gulliver's Travels, maybe it's a feature of satire or allegory. So, I'm confused with... Yeah, maybe unpack that if you like, Mole. I'd love to hear what you say. Hear what you have to say there. There's a tab you can see but can't reach in one of the buildings. The trick is to go to the room behind it. Do you remember where it is? Is it in here? I did not see any other tabs that I couldn't pick up, other than the ones on that table where the new that I scratched was. That pendant of yours. It looks like Scala's, but it doesn't glow. The Queen's two heirs, Scala and Janus, get along so well. If only Janus would open up to others. Ask the Queen or the Gurus if you want to know about the Mammon Machine and the Ocean Palace. But just between us, she probably won't give you the time of day. Did you know that Balthazar, the Guru of Reason, has secret rooms in Nhasa and Kajar? That man's a newcomer, but his accurate prophecies earned the Queen's trust. He's a drifter. He's not one of us enlightened ones, nor of the earthbound ones either. Oh, no book opening here. Plot isn't really centered on Gulliver. It's just a convenient mechanism for introducing all the settings. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, yeah. No, this was a while back. It's why I'd stopped. It's why I'd stopped streaming for a couple of weeks there. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I am delighted to announce that she just this week accepted an offer that is amazing. It's remote, like her previous job. It's in the career path that she wanted. They're paying her as much as she was making at her previous job, with a system for bonuses and raises, which her previous job did not offer. So it's an amazing offer, and we're super grateful. And thank you to everybody who helped with networking and pushing us in different directions and telling us about opportunities. I need to make a big announcement on socials because there were a lot of people who were very helpful. The completion of the Ocean Palace will allow zeal to last forever, and there will be no fear or sadness, just eternal peace. The Queen's aide Dalton was in charge of the Ocean Palace until some traveling prophet took over. He's in a bad mood, so you should avoid him. No, this will take you to the bedroom. The Queen must have borne pain and sorrow and silence. No pain, no gain. Zeal, too, was born out of much sacrifice and work. Okay, let's go up in here. Ah, okay. This is another really great track in this. Thanks very much, Baron. Appreciate that. All I can remember is it's in the top right corner of one of the buildings. Maybe, I don't know. Scala! Oh, you're back, Janus. Is something wrong? The black wind. You feel it too. Don't worry, it'll be all right. Now hold on to this. What is it? It's a kind of amulet. If something should happen, it'll protect you. I wish I could be with you always, but Mother has other plans. She's not our mother. She looks like Mother, but inside she's changed. Still, I can't. Janus, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Highness. The Queen asks for your immediate presence at the Ocean Palace. All right. Well, Janus, I'll be going. Oh, who might you be? Miss Scala, please hurry. If you're late, I'll be punished. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, what a great track. Don't waste your time. Alphador only likes me. Oh, but he's so cute, though. Go away. Ah, this track. So good. Well, you get a different song for this building. Just gives the whole thing a really ominous feel. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, chat. A Scala or a Shala? So I go with Scala, like the word school. I've heard people pronounce it as Shala. I've heard the word schism pronounced as schism and schism. I prefer schism. There may be American versus British there. I don't know. This is the point in the game where the battle difficulty starts to spike. Yeah, Ocean Palace is a pretty tough dungeon. I've seen it eat some new players. Pronounce it like Red does, so the Scala. Yeah, I don't mind either way. Only hill I'll die on is Marley. Just in time to unlock some amazing double text like Falcon. Hit! So good. Ocean Palace too. Again, like I was testifying to previously. Chrono Trigger is so luxurious with its music that you'll have some songs that you rarely hear, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're really excellent. So what, Turbo? What led you to pronouncing it as Shala, and not similar to the word school? Because I'm thinking that would probably be the closest thing that a kid would know to the spelling of her name and its pronunciation. Can Red defeat the Golem twins like a boss? Oof. I always forget how to do it. Schism is a new one for me. This person's Snoop Dogg. Yo, my schism for zism. No, I don't know. I've heard people say schism, though. Scala's pendant was made from the same red rock as the Mammon Machine. When she chants, the pendant glows. This is a really curious song to me. Like, it sounds both really like severe, and then it hits this part of the song where it's like there's a little bit of mania going on here. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yasunori Mitsuda, ladies and gentlemen. Beings that are born of dreams must return to them. The power of Lavos can make hopes and dreams come true. So are Masa and Mune and Doreen, are they dreams made flesh? I wonder how old man Melchior is. Humans are so odd. I want to be the wind, Masa. Oh, you will someday. Big sister Doreen's at Inhasa again. Yeah, that's because she likes dreams. I like the wind better. Whoosh. And that's right. You remember we talked about how Grand Dream is from the Gold Rock, and that was the remains of Doreen after the fall of the Kingdom of Zeal. It's all connected. I'm not sure, given how young I was, to start playing. So it was just a natural, like nobody suggested it to you or anything like that. Always said it's Shala, but I have no clue what was intended. I just think it sounds feminine. Yeah, I think they both do, Scala and Shala. There's really just that slight sound in it. Shala certainly sounds gentler, I think, than the other. Get out of the way. Wait, what did he say? What did you say? This leads to the Hall of the Mammon Machine. Thank you. This connects to the Queen's Hall. The earth is alive, and it has changed over the aeons, from flat lands into mountains, from mountains into oceans. You may find the way, that is, if you could pass aeons of time at the Forbidden Palace or the Sun Keep. What is the way of which you speak? Okay, I do want to go outside and save, just in case I miss something. This is a big missable part of the game. We don't want to wind up in too lousy a spot here, so we're going to go ahead and save and just enjoy the music for a second. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Okay, now I got to look it up. Schism or schism? So the definition from Oxford Languages gives the k in there. Schism. Let's see. So two accepted pronunciations for the word schism. The traditional schism, so not even a sh sound, schism, and the more common modern pronunciation, schism. The spelling with ch was introduced to align the word with its Greek and Latin roots, but the pronunciation with the s sound persisted for a long time before the sk pronunciation became more widely accepted. So it sounds as if the k is more close to its roots. Schism, school. I've never heard anybody say Sala for her name to match the traditional pronunciation of schism. That would be rough. Scaramanga. Scaramanga? I don't know what that is, actually. Full admission. Heard Titus and I've heard Titus. My cousin called him... Oh, Titus? Don't let me hear that as an eh sound. But yeah, I like Titus. Of course, I think most English speakers like Titus. Titus is a rough one. It really isn't. Is the short I? Oh, boy. I had a feeling because you put the 2 T's in there. Oh, boy. Okay. But we all know the worst Final Fantasy name pronunciation is Sephiroth. To this day, I don't know if Sephiroth was a real, honest to goodness pronunciation or a joke or not. I have no idea. Oh, it's one of the doors. No one may enter while the queen is away at the palace. Your pendant looks just like Scala's. I heard that when Scala communes with the Mammon machine, her pendant starts to glow. To open the door from outside, an item like Scala's pendant is needed to break the seal. Oh, yeah, okay. And Mammon machine, too, biblical reference. Mammon being associated with greed. And here, obviously, that underscores Zeal's greed for eternal life. There's something to this pendant.
'Tis a mere door that keeps us bound hand and foot and tongue.
Okay, do we get like a different... like if we switch characters here, do we get like a different different line? Okay, I'm going to exit out and come back in here. Oh, it was the man with the golden gun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. From what I saw with a quick Google search is that Latin Italian stuff tends to be SK, while Germanic tends to be SH. Christopher Lee is excellent. Infinite Space had a character named Seiko. I was mentally pronouncing it Chico until I learned it was short for Sicolius? I don't know. Probably did, but I wonder if it's a one-shot. Yeah, I don't know. Just as we thought. It won't budge. Strange. How come? Okay. So we actually can get the others to comment. I am going to... We'll roll with this party for a second. Now, y'all got me worried about the Golem twins. I don't remember a lot of the Golem fights. I will probably lose that one. Let's see, what's he say? This door has a strong defense mechanism. He's not going to comment be like, I fell asleep in front of a door just like this, actually. The prophet's aura is full of hatred and sorrow. He'll destroy himself and those he loves. Truer words have never been spoken. Beyond is the hall of the Mammon machine. The incredible energy of Lavos pervades it. The Mammon machine? You came to see it? Nah. Oh, but you must feel them, the last of the great Lavos' emanations. I thought so. Feel the flow of the mighty Lavos' power? Oh, I feel faint. Oh, this whole room is beautiful. Look at luxurious. That's what it is. This is the source of Zeal's strength. The Mammon machine, it draws and magnifies the infinite power of Lavos. That pendant, it looks like Scala's. When she chants to the Mammon machine, the pendant glows, as if they were in union. If the Mammon machine is moved to the Ocean Palace, we can extract even more energy from Lavos. The ultimate dream of eternal youth and life is now possible. O Almighty Queen, our kingdom of Zeal will reign forever. When the Mammon machine was finished, the Queen changed almost overnight. Just between us, I heard that anyone who opposes her, and not just the earthbound ones, vanishes. Melchior, who opposed the Queen's plans, has vanished. You're not thinking what I am, are you? The 3 gurus made the Mammon machine from the royal family's red rock. Melchior, who has studied much about Lavos, was in charge of the plans, but then he disappeared. Magic strong enough to control the extraction of energy is needed to control the Mammon machine. Let's mess with it! Oh yeah, we got the charged up pendant. Is there anything else we could do with it before opening up the door? There's a person who says the pendant looks like Scala's, except it is without its glow. So maybe there. I wonder if that person would say something different. Lavos is such a dork. Yeah, there's a lot of vibe here from FF6 pixel work. It is some seriously skilled pixel work for sure. How's it going, Ariel? How's it going? The Hebrew term mammon simply refers to money, wealth, or possessions without the negative or pejorative connotation it often carries in other contexts. While the word isn't found in the Old Testament, it appears post-biblical texts like the Mishnah, where it functions as a straightforward term for worldly riches. Summarized by AI. Well, that's a little sus. But I appreciate, Ariel, that you swoop in without saying, just the salutations. But we have a whole big thing here. But yeah, my reference was to its usage in the Bible. I should have said the New Testament, in which there's an association with greed, right? Obviously, literal terms, especially preceding the New Testament, can have different literal definitions. It would be nice to get a good CRT for retro gaming, but it's just too easy to emulate and use a nice big TV. Yeah, you could. Plus, it takes up a lot of space. It really does. Even in 2025, a quality CRT makes these games look fantastic. It definitely does. And you're looking through a camera, too. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. It looks fantastic. I wish you all could be here and hang out. Basic Google searches say that Scala was originally Sarah, and that it should be pronounced Shala. Is that an AI summary, or do you get that from a wiki, or what? The problem that I have with citing wikis is fans will always disagree with each other. So, yeah. FF6 greater than Chrono Trigger? It's close. It's close. I think that Chrono Trigger handles its cast better. But it's pretty close. Don't argue with Red. He's always right. The most true thing that you've said. All I did was, it might be correct that it's Sarah, but I don't know. It depends on who's saying it, right? Got a question. It's also hard to justify either direction fully. Yeah, they're so close. You would I would love to see an actual essay on that, but you're not really gonna get one. You're gonna get social media squabbles on that. Like a real essay, a real speech on delineating quality between these two games. That would be super cool, but that's tough. I'm sure there's a giant article on Chrono Compendium. Probably. The other issue that I have with using the Japanese to try and define how we pronounce the English is it seems to ignore that we're not doing translation, we're doing localization, right? So there's not going to be an exact sort of one-to-one there. And that's why when people cite for Marl, they cite Maru. I will happily call her Maru. I'll happily call her Nadia. But I don't think that Marley is out of the question. I really don't. Let's see. Played FF1, 4, 6, and Chrono Trigger from Square. Did not get any video game systems after the SNES. So this is the furthest into video game history that you've been, is the Super Nintendo. Like the big cast in 6, they do a great job fleshing out each character individually. That's false. As well as giving them great reason to work together towards their common goal. So absolutely false. Gogo and Umaru exist. They have zero fleshing out. You're going to need to clarify and refine that statement because it's completely false. Lower GPA first semester. Will partially due to too much StarCraft. I love StarCraft. StarCraft is awesome. When it comes to JRPGs, they represent two different design mindsets. They're both best in class of their type. I think that would be an excellent element of that essay. Imagine. I think we should call her Carol. Marley looks like a Carol. She looks like a Carol, but her name is M-A-R-L-E. Washed the dishes for my mom much of summer 1990 to earn FF1. Totally worth it. Sounds like it was. Stop using Gogo as an example. It's not the win you think it is. He's a secret side character. Syncoplay. If somebody says literal words, okay, Mr. Temper said they do a great job fleshing out each character individually. Literally what he said. Okay, he did not say excluding hidden side characters. Is Gogo a character in the story? Yes. That's why I'm responding to exactly what he said. I can't respond to something I assume he means. I respond exactly to what he said. Now, if he wants to clarify his statement, I'm happy with that. Then I will say Realm or Gao, who are not fleshed out very well at all. But the big obvious answer, if you're going to say every character is fleshed out, the obvious answer is Gogo. Are you happy with that degree of explanation? Because literally taking people at their exact words is how you communicate. It just is. I'm not going to assume that you mean something that you're not saying. All right, end of rant. Gao makes a better argument than Gogo? No, not. It would make a better argument if he was not including hidden characters, which he should. But if he's saying each character, every character, then Gogo is the obvious answer, obviously. Okay, but they are characters. I'm glad now that you're adjusting your initial statement, Mr. Temper. And while you do that, I will gladly jump to Mog or to Realm or to Gao because they're clearly not fleshed out at all. At all. I mean, come on now. That's ridiculous. Turbo's got it right there. I think FF6 is as big a cast as you can get without making too many of them superfluous. I love all the characters in Chrono Cross, but so many of them are absolutely unneeded in terms of story and fleshing out. I would say there's like 2 of the non-missable characters, 2 or 3 maybe, are really not fleshed out, especially comparably and unnecessary with the story. I would happily say 2, I think. Does Mog count as a hidden side character? Oh, we were talking about this earlier. I don't know. What was the consensus from earlier that Mog is a hidden side character or not? I think you're put into contact with him directly, right? Your argument is weak and flabby. First time you make an argument, say what you mean. That's a pro tip from somebody who argues on a professional basis. Gao makes a better argument. Gao does make a better argument, but not all I'm adjusting. That's okay. Now what other goalposts do you plan to move? You're going to misspell Realm and then say you're making a meaningful argument? I don't think so, Mr. Temper. Go ahead and move all the goalposts to what you want, as far as you want. When you're done adjusting your bizarre, stupid argument, then I will take the time to respond. How's that? Because otherwise, I'm arguing with your ridiculous initial argument, which is just that. Ninja wasn't here for the previous hour-long conversation. Let him ease. And hey, your brother's a big boy. He can handle himself. He's all right. He's all right. I can't physically assault him. I can only assault him non-physically. Spectral cast! And I throw my shadow at him. My shade. The shade of the well-read mage. Gao's a pretty interesting character emotionally, but not fleshed out at all. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone remember Andrew Church and Dragonfire Internet Services? Went to high school. I do not. I have no idea who that is, actually. Oh, you're on your first time playing Chrono Cross? Realm, or are you talking about Radical Dreamers? Realm feels as deep as any other 10-year-old would be. I don't know about that. Realm is not a hidden side character, but he is not necessary. So how are we defining Mog? Oh, your shorts. Well, I will salute your shorts. Okay, first playthrough of CC. I was wondering when Serge's mom would join the party. I think I remember that as well. Gets most of her fleshing out through Strigo, who is comparatively thin next to the rest of the cast. Yeah, those two, like I said previously on this stream, I think those two could have been one character easily. You would have lost some of the dynamism of their interaction. Yeah, those are very slight. I mean, they're interesting, but I wouldn't call that fleshing out at all, or necessary, or relevant to the plot. You're given a choice between Mog and a gold hairpin. Take the hairpin. Whoever said Realm is as deep as any 10-year-old has forgotten about Larsa. Best character in FF12. Is he? That's a forgettable character. See, and nobody does not have strong feelings about Final Fantasy. It's just impossible. Sega Genesis sucks. Well, at least you said one true thing today. Mog, Umaru, and Gogo are completely optional. All the rest of the cast are forced into your party at one time or another. In the early days of the web, it was amazing to find Final Fantasy fan sites and fanfics. I bet it was. Madden sucks since... now we're talking about Madden again. The Final Fantasy 12 accepts Larsa Erasure. I don't know. I feel like he's there and then he just disappears. There's a lot that game forgets by the end of it, feels like. You know what, though? I am due for a replay of 12. I think it could be time to do that. You're forced Shadow on the floating continent at the very least. Oh, yeah. Interesting question, then. Are we counting Shadow as a missable or secret character? Okay. I want to find the person... I want to find the person who made a comment about the pendant. I feel like it was one of those two ladies down there. Let me take a peek. Oh, now they're not letting us out? No one may enter while the queen is away at Ocean Palace. No one may enter the outside of the building? You should say what you mean. No more, no less. The queen's two heirs, Scala and Janice, get along so well. That glow, is that Scala's pendant? Well, she didn't say that there are not 3 heirs. She only identified 2 heirs. Let us assume interlingual meaning. Wandering Prophet, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it was a person here. Then, which stinks. Because I wonder what that character would say if we could get out. But now, I guess, there's nothing. Okay. Alright. Let's go. So I think we're counting Shadow as... It sounds like we're counting Shadow as a missable, secret, whatever you want to say, character. Optional. There it is. 6 is better than the best Dragon Quest? What would you say is the best Dragon Quest? Very due for a replay. Larsa's arc goes all the way to the finale. That crap hitting the fan finale. Oh man. By the time I got to the end of 12, I was like, I don't even know what's going on. And I can't care anymore. I'd like to replay it with following Ash in mind. And like, if this story is about Ash, does that kind of suss out through the whole story? I'd love to play that from that perspective. Let's see. You could never use the part, although you should is best at that point. I think technically, okay. Red equals Grandpa Simpson yelling at Cloud. Oh yeah, Mr. Temper, when losing an argument, his solution is ageism. Well done. Yeah, plus you're older. They're like way older than me too. Like vastly. I turned 40 and you started shopping for... Okay, all right. I was going to go dark there. We're not going to go dark. PG-13 channel. Shadow's thrown in multiple times. Go throughout the game. Games forces the choice of Shadow on you. 7, 8, and 3 are close. 7 if you have to pick. And I'm sure you're aware most people would probably say 11. Then the World of Ring, you're only required. Ash is the lead. Story is hard as hell to follow. To my second playthrough, I really liked it. Yeah, and you know from multiple discussions on 12 single play, you know that I like Final Fantasy 12. I think of 12 as the last good Final Fantasy 12 or Final Fantasy. I think of 10 as the last great Final Fantasy. But the story of 12 and the way in which it's told, and especially its sort of single player MMO format, it makes it hard to follow. You weren't arguing? Well, now you're arguing and making a statement. So there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Back to the magical kingdom. Yeah, we did it. There is no doubt Marley's pendant is made of the Guru's rock. Okay, do we want... who do we want here? Let's stick with these two characters. Oh my gosh. Soak it up, you guys. Look at that throne. You don't even get to see it. It's like right now, it's like cut off from the top. But you can tell that throne is some nice looking sprite work. When you replay it, give Larsa a chance. I'm not trolling. Best character in the game. He rocks. Because I know you and I have differing bases on what is good and how you arrive at good and what is best and how you arrive at that. So like what for you, let me ask this, I think it's a fair question in all honesty and openness. What for you, what makes Larsa the best character in Final Fantasy 12? Was Larsa a girl or boy? It was a boy. You played enough JRPGs to know this. Who are you? How did you get in here? Your Majesty, they are the evildoers I warned you of. How dare you think you could oppose me, you foreigners? You're worse than the gurus. Fools! Dalton, take them away.
Yes, ma'am, by your leave. Golem!
Oh boy. See, and you fight golems many times in here. I can't remember which one is supposed to be the one that you like can't beat or is really hard to beat. Okay, now tell me though, was there a gimmick for this one? I don't think so, because it was the Golem twins that was like the big bad, right? This one should be doable. Let's see, what do we got? We got a couple things that are cool. We'll start off with spin cut, and we'll try and keep ourselves hale and hearty. Copies physics. Okay, so that's bad. Now let's try lightning dose. Or what else we got? Let's try lightning here. Potion thrower? Is this a Final Fantasy Tactics reference? Copy lightning tech. Oh! We could have used our ruby vests to get fire damage in. A kid who everybody saw in his older brother's shadow, but through actually caring about his subjects, he shows himself to be 10 times the ruler Vayne could ever be. I like that answer. That's something I'll promise you that. I will look for Larsa's good qualities the next time that I play 12. Since you know that I'm someone who believes in objective qualities in art, that's something that I will intend to look for. Okay, so then, hang on. So then if I hit him with laser spin after he switches to lightning, is that going to do me any good? No, not really. It's just copying text. That's all. Yeah, the minimal screen time is why I was surprised that you mentioned he's the best character. Because I don't remember him even being in the finale. I remember meeting him in Bujerba, I think it was. But beyond that, I don't remember much Larsa in the game. It sounds like he represents a kind of virtue, which the game is contrasting with its main villain, which is nice. I'm unsure how to actually, like, make use of this whole bit where he switches text. I'm unsure how to capitalize on that. We definitely don't want that one. So let's let me see here. Let's avoid that. Let's switch him to Shadow. Lasers! What is this obsession with Larsa's sex that we're on now with Temper? I don't understand. No! Okay, so that one's bad. That one is objectively bad. We don't want that one. Let me see here. He's the egalitarian contrast to Vane's dictatorship. Is there any... this is stupid. Is there any question about... here's what I'll do. I don't know that this is going to heal us up enough. Is there any question about Ash representing a foil to Vane or a contrast to Vane? It looks painful on the Golem's behalf. No! Alright. Let's switch him to something else. And we won't do that again. Yeah, but he told you, and then you still pursued the tongue-in-cheekery, so there's no fleeing to innocence anymore. You can try it, Mr. Temper, but I've learned all your tricks. The fox has been caught, and the hounds are on their way. Do the spin cut again. Spin cut. I mean, that's a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage right there. Okay. Alright. So... I didn't realize that it was voiced by a child. That's interesting. Although I don't know if that would be something that I would include in gradations of bestness. But it's interesting. Nonetheless, less than none. Come on. Oh, darn. Oh, okay. And two, now just when I was ready to use this. Well. What were you saying about, difficulty spikes? You're certainly giving me a run for my money, whereas previous bosses were not. As that is a chunk of change right there. Okay, so and then we'll have this right here. Attaboy. I can't remember what I hit him with last. I think that the whole ruby vests and fire would have been a good technique to go with. But dang. So much death. You're going way too fast on your turns here, dude. Way too fast. Bam, 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 bam. Is this a beatable fight? I can't remember. I honestly cannot. I can't. Can't remember. Oh yeah. Well, I think we will go with this. There are. That's why I can't remember which golem fight is the tough one, which golem fight is the throwing you throw. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Let's go ahead and switch to ice. Okay. I'm copying Dalton. There we go. It's jacked up. That's messed up. 1,000 experience points and 35 tech points. All gone. Oh, well. My poor golem. That was inexcusable. Put them in the actually hard jingle jail, Sam. Fear not. You won't die immediately, that is. By the time we're through with you, you'll be begging us to end your suffering. What a delicious diversion. Yeah. Queen Bee herself. Oh, we get to hear it again. Huh, idiots. What will you do, Scala? Let us rescue them. I think it's useless. Besides, if they escape, you'll be in trouble. Don't worry about me. They just might be able to rescue the gurus. What did they do with the Mammon Machine? Oh yeah, they moved it to the Ocean Palace. Are you all right? Quickly, escape from the palace. And if you can, please rescue Melchior. He was sent to the Mountain of Woe for opposing the Queen. Please, you have to help him. I'm afraid I can't allow that. Your meddling tires me. You'll just have to disappear. You mustn't. Stop. Okay, I'll spare them. But in return, you will cooperate, Scala. Now, show me how you came here. Can you throw that fight, or is that one that you can that you have to beat? I don't remember. I think there's one in which you lose. You still the story still proceeds. I can't recall if that one was the one that you can throw or not. So you came in through here. Now, Scala, after I throw them in, I want you to seal the portrait shut. No, you can't make me. Obey me. Their lives are at stake. All right. Please forgive me. There's one fight I can think of you're forced to lose, but you'll know that when you see it. It's the memory for me. Like this, I can't recall which one of the fights it is. And because you fight the golem so many times. Why did the prophet let us go? The key to defeating Lavos must exist in that era. Wait a minute. I've seen the design on the doors this pendant opens somewhere else. Oh, yeah! Back to the Future time. A curious crest is engraved here. Some unknown power keeps it sealed. Let's check it out, Chrono. So those doors in the future are not surviving relics of doors from this period then, right? Because you'd expect to see them throughout the other in-between eras, but I imagine they were reconstructed from Balthazar. I don't know. Hey, look, a new. A new. That's the one that I think of. Is this the 50s or 1999? I don't know, but we'll party like it's either of those. The new. And that's the one that we know for sure is an artificial being. So my theory on news is that they were originally biological creatures that were then replicated into artificial creatures, and then all the subsequent ones that you see throughout time are those. So that Balthazar built the domes and the doors in them. Yeah, that would make sense to me. He would have had to have been there for a long time, because they have domes in... They have the same domes on the map of 1999, right? In Apocalypse. Yeah, 65 million BC definitely has the real new. I think so. News of the Tom Bombadil of Chrono Trigger. I can get behind that. I can. Well, my friends, I think I'm going to draw it there. Today was a very exciting day. Thank you to the chat for enduring... for having the intellectual robustness to endure really intense conversation without losing your crap. That's always exciting. When people don't resort to playground name calling and stuff like that. Seriously, is what I'm saying. Is thanks for the arguments. It's wonderful. You can test ideas back and forth. It's great. Say what you mean when you say it the first time, and everything will be, and said everything would be better. It's true. Remember where it shows to get him to spit out. I think he spit out in the distant future. But it's possible that the people who built the domes didn't have those sealed doors, and that Balthazar implemented them when he went to the apocalyptic future, or to the post-apocalyptic future. Or it's possible that the people who built the domes rediscovered Xelian technology and implemented them. I don't know. It's one of those things. Again, the distant vistas. Look up that quote from Tolkien on distant vistas and over-explanation. All right, my friends, I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central. As always, weekdays. Tell a friend, bring a friend, drag a friend, coerce a friend to watch. And I'll see you next time. Bye.